guys, thanks for watching the Roll Talks. I got Jake Ladd interviewing Lee Strosinger. These guys are best friends, they work together, and they've known each other for a long time. It was really fun filming and getting to know the both of them. I think you guys should enjoy it. It's super interesting. Thanks.
What's going on? I'm Jake Ladd, and this is my buddy Lee Strosinger. We're at 710, and this is Roll Talk. Here we go, dude. So aggressive.
Ask me a question. I didn't want you in my car while we were doing that.
All right, first question. Okay, how long have you been coaching water polo?
Oh, dude. All right, so I started coaching water polo. Let me think. Oh, this is, yeah. Well, I started coaching water polo right out of when I was in college. I do like camps and all the stuff like that. But I was always trying to work too. So.
You started coaching at when you were in CBU?
CBU.
Or before?
Then I'd go and coach JV water polo at Ayala, where I went to high school.
Okay.
I'd go help out.
Is that pretty close to CBU?
No. It was like where I lived.
Oh.
So like I'd go home the weekends and help them.
Alright.
And then slowly got working like at PetSmart and all that stuff. Kept always coaching. And then from there, took a little break from coaching, realized that I absolutely hated working at PetSmart. PetSmart fucking sucked, bro. Yeah, PetSmart sucked. But then I started coaching at Santiago High School.
Okay.
Did that for a while. Then I went to work at Cal State Bakersfield. And then from there ended up at...
So you were a collegiate coach for a while.
Yeah, I coached college water polo. I coached the ODP, like Olympic Development Program, for a while. Got to work with the national team, work with Olympians. Got to do that for a while. Ended up at Clovis because my wife wanted to have another kid, and Clovis has good benefits.
Yeah.
So that's why I ended up there.
How'd you hear about Clovis in like the Valley and Fresno?
Oh, sick. So I had what coach was that? Coach, he was one of they call it the actual Olympic coaches. So one of the Olympic coaches was videoing a game with me for the Olympians. Like we're doing an Olympic game, and we're videoing it, and he was like, "Dude, you gotta see this like post. This is how you get a coach to come join your program." And we just found out that Cal State Bakersfield was cutting the program, and so I was like, "Dude, we have 1 year left. I gotta get out of here." So we got out. Ended up at Clovis. Luckily, Dr. Shapiro and Greg Connor picked me up, and I got really lucky because I freaking love Clovis.
Did you
So that's like 13-year period.
Did you live in Bakersfield when you coached there?
Yeah, because my wife worked for Kern County
Okay.
Mental Health. So, and I coached at night and in the mornings. So that was pretty fun.
A long coaching career, man.
Yeah. Slowly have trimmed it down. The kids are getting older. And the kids are getting older. No. The kids are getting older. Fourth half guard. The kids are getting older. You get out of this, don't worry. The kids are getting older, so I backed off like being gone every weekend. Like right now, I'd be at Junior Olympics if I did that. I'm gonna get swept. All right. Question for you, Jake.
Ready?
You ready?
Yep.
What's your biggest fear?
My biggest fear, living a life without purpose. I hate going through the motions, feeling like every day is the same, or like you're not getting anything done, or you're stagnant. So I feel like, personally, it sounds kind of cliche, but I'm obsessed with progress. Not perfection, but progress. Moving in a way that either benefits me, benefits my life, benefits the people that I'm around. Right? Anything like that, that is what I'm trying to do, is constantly just keep moving. So my biggest fear is to one day know that like I have to slow down, but to stop moving, to be stagnant, that would be terrible. That's my worst fear.
What's your purpose, Jake?
My purpose? You know, I feel like my purpose has changed over time. I feel like My purpose now is to be the best husband, the best father that I can be, the best role model that I can be, and just be, you know, make a positive impact on some kids. So
Nice.
we both work in education, so working with kids is important to us. You know, making sure that I'm living my life by a certain way, a certain code, so that way I can live the message that I'm preaching to the kids that I coach and teach. So that's my purpose right now.
Like it. So you just got a job at Clark.
Yep.
You excited?
Dude, I am. I think it's going to be definitely a new challenge, but I'm looking forward to it. You know, I'm stepping in to be a teacher. I'm going to be a PE teacher over there. So, but luckily I've been active and working out or into fitness or rolling and doing some jiu-jitsu. So that's going to be fun. So just stepping into that role is going to be great for me. I'm excited for it. I'm ready for it.
So being in shape, obviously, you are. So we started lifting together 4 years ago, before COVID even happened.
Yep.
So how much does lifting change your life?
Lifting is important to me. I think that's one of the constants and not a variable in my life. Like I said, training is very important to me. Not just because I like staying in shape, but it helps me out mentally, right? And obviously physically as well too. But the mental side of working out and lifting is super important in my opinion. You know, once we began jiu-jitsu, before this, you know, I always wanted to make sure that that constant stayed a constant, regardless of what's going on. So that being said, lifting, I haven't stopped. So I've been training pretty consistently since my senior year of high school as far as lifts go. So making sure that I'm, like I said, staying true to that, you know, really helps me out mentally and physically. And I think it's very important for anybody's life to find something in the fitness industry, whether it's lifting weights, whether it's jiu-jitsu, whatever they're passionate about, find something to keep you active. So speaking of big lifting, back to you, Big Papa. Okay, so how long you been lifting for, and what are the benefits you've seen it for jiu-jitsu?
Oh.
Yeah.
All right. So I think, it's personal opinion,
It's all right.
that jiu-jitsu obviously has a lot of technique. Obviously the gi, trying to set stuff up.
Yeah. Totally.
So the lifting, lifting is nothing to do with that. Toes, no lifting. But like if I wanted to like post and throw a little bit, give me strength. But
So would you say lifting is
so flexibility, strength, and strength I think go hand in hand. So there's people that are really flexible. We have a guy in school, coolest dude, his name's JJ. It's crazy flexibility.
I think I might know him.
And I think strength is another argument people have that they can have. So put them all together, it's awesome, but it's an attribute that makes you better at jiu-jitsu. Your speed. So if you can have strength, that'd be huge for your game. So strength-wise can get you out of a lot of mistakes you make. Flexibility can get you out of a lot of mistakes you make. Speed can get you out of a lot of mistakes you make, right?
Mm-hmm.
But if you're technically just amazing, you don't need any of the three. Technically. I'd pick strength over all of them.
Yeah?
Only because it's the one I have. I have no speed. Flexibility is getting a little better because you guys are forcing it. But I love it. Like, big fat neck, like right now.
Yeah.
I'm really afraid of you choking me.
Yeah.
But I was kind of like this.
Yeah.
What are you gonna do?
It's a lot more difficult.
You can probably still get it, but this, not worry about breaking that.
Yeah.
But flexibility wise, earlier I couldn't finish the back tape because I couldn't get my foot to come around.
Yeah.
That was difficult.
But you still do a pretty good job yin and yang in between the two, right? Like, because obviously you need to know the technique in order to do jiu-jitsu, right? You need to be able to move. You
Yeah.
need to be able to, like, use strength you need to. So timing is important as well, right?
Yeah, I think another big one I thought about with strength is avoiding injuries.
Oh yeah.
you avoid a lot of injuries with strength. That's sports in general. So like talking about water polo, like coaching guys,
Yeah.
you need strength. And when we add weightlifting to programs, you might notice with wrestling, coaching wrestling, that you can have a strong team avoids the injury. Like when they get yanked on, when this is getting pulled on, this is getting armbarred, your muscles can protect your joints.
Yeah.
Where
Absolutely.
flexibility can protect you too.
So I was reading, we learned about this a little bit in kines. I was a kines major before I changed in college. And one of the things that they really emphasized about strength and conditioning and lifting all the time, right, is it really makes your bones a lot more sturdy, right? It creates a lot more bone development. So that way the muscles are used to taking a lot more pressure, which makes sense, right? Because you're loading them up all the time, right? And it really benefits your body in a large amount of ways as far as that works. So strength and conditioning training and hitting the weights and stuff, really good for your bones, right?
So avoid breaking them too.
Avoids breaking them, exactly. So
You can add it to your program at Clark.
Yeah.
A good weightlifting program.
I'll try. I know that some of the resources over there, like as far as having a weight room, things like that, might be limited. But I would love to do like an introductory to weightlifting over there. I think that'd be great for the kids to learn, especially for some of our athletes that are coming up. But even in general, with the times that are kind of where we're at and just seeing the trends that are coming up, it seems like fitness is really back in. You know, people are talking about gymming a lot and kind of bodybuilding or powerlifting or whatever the type of feel is in the gym. It's really starting to become a lot more popular. So just seeing what that entails, everybody I think should really learn how to move their body in a particular way, be able to move some weight if they can, and just reap the benefits of having a good work ethic and knowing what to do when you're in the gym. Because isn't that one of the worst feelings, is when you walk into a gym and you just don't know what to do?
Yeah, and that's like we work with our buddy Gunner, teach him how to lift. He's getting a lot stronger. He's avoiding injuries, but teaching him how to lift.
Yeah.
And he could write his own program at this point.
Yeah.
So if you could teach your kids that. I see all my guys in college playing now, like, you know, Lochin. He's using his weightlifting still.
Yeah.
He can write a program right now.
It's awesome, dude.
That's good.
So, yeah, and I just noticed a lot more of our kids too, even at the high school level, they're interested in working out. So, I have this kid, the 7th grader, and it's kind of funny, his approach to asking me how I work out, but anyways, he was just like, you know, Coach Ladd, like, how do you get so buff, you know? I'm like, you just work hard, man. You know, you just keep eating right. You know, find a rhythm in the gym and see what works best for you.
Let it
So-
go. Just let it right there.
Nah,
Just leave it.
So, but the gym has definitely played a big impact in my life. Lifting has. You know, I created my own home gym during COVID, which I can't give enough credit for. You know, it really saves me, especially with having my new daughter, who's 6 months years old, and you know, or years old, right? 6 months old. That doesn't make sense. But you know, and I just not able to leave the home all the time like I'd like to. But just being able to work out when I want to, do those things, it's really nice and convenient. Like I said, that's one of those constants, right? Like if it matters to you, you'll find a way. Just like jiu-jitsu, right? It matters to me. I find a way to make sure that I come here a couple nights a week, get my work in. You know, it may not always be the best, but
You good?
but you know, we're still putting in work and we're doing the best we can with what we've got, and that's for sure. So, but all right, back to you, Big Papa. So now that the kids are getting older, how do you balance being such a experienced coach and being a parent, right? Because your kids are starting to become more active. Maybe they're finding some activities that they're interested in. How do you balance being like coach, dad, and supporter, right?
All right.
Because you know it's hard sometimes when you're such an advanced person in one area. It's hard not to let that shine whenever your kids are competing or you know learning their own way. So how do you balance that?
You deal with that a lot as a coach, dealing with, there's a lot of advanced wrestlers that you have to deal with parents. So it's a nightmare.
Right.
I got lucky because water polo wasn't a big thing in the valley. So like a lot of the parents, no offense parents, but they didn't know shit.
Yeah.
Like they didn't know. Like I'm from the mecca of water polo.
Sure.
For at least California.
Absolutely.
No, I'm making sweat. No, I'm not. So As a parent, I've told myself, hey, I got lucky, my kid chose not to do water polo. He's going to do wrestling. And wrestling, I really don't know enough about. I know enough to enjoy it, but I don't want to pretend like I know anything about it, other than, you know, what you tell me. You know, obviously I call you for advice. But I know what it takes to be an elite athlete.
Sure.
And I'm good about, I think it made me better as a parent with it, because I'm not forcing my kid to do all the crazy stuff that I used to force my athletes to do, and I'd burn them out. One of my biggest regrets as a water polo coach is I had the last year I did varsity at Clovis East. We had a bunch of girls get scholarships. Like, probably my biggest signing year I was ever gonna have. So excited for them, right? Super excited. They're all signing, and all of them chose not to play water polo. And the reasoning was, and the reasoning was, Coach, we've already done everything we wanted to do. They already did Junior Olympics, they're top 10 in the country, they all did ODP, they're all up to do national team stuff, and their mind like, I'm gonna do well in my life. And I was like, no, I gave them too much.
Yeah.
And so I don't want my kid to get to that point in his life, he's like, doesn't want to do it.
Yeah.
You're different, like, you had a unique situation where you didn't do college.
Right.
And if you didn't have your unique situation, you would have loved college. I loved it. And none of these people understand it's a once in a lifetime opportunity, but they're too, how do you say, they're too burned out.
Yeah.
And I burned them out. It's my fault. And the parents were so gung ho because they saw their girls get better, they get scholarships. Like, why not? You know?
Right.
So, why not go for all of it? And those girls got good, got really good, but they got burnt out.
Yeah. I
So-
think that's a hard thing too, like, you know, especially with Clovis and the competitive spirit that is within our school district, within the town really, right? Like athletics are such a big deal that everybody's trying to really excel and get to the next level. And just the kids now, man, they're just built different, man. I see young kids who are constantly working, right? Constantly working. And they're like so tiny, right? Like I'm talking first, second graders who are grinding it out in these wrestling clubs, which is great, right? But the biggest fear that any parent is, right, is once you really get them invested into it, like how focused is a kid, you know? How much are they really willing to take before they actually start getting burned out? You know, because some of these kids are having straight up like college seasons and college careers and college training at like elementary age, before they're even allowed to wrestle in elementary school, right? So, and that being said, you know, I'm not saying don't have your kids active at all. No, that's great. Keep introducing them to new things. Let them have fun. But I think that's the main part of it, right? Fall in love with it and have fun. Because the minute that you stop having fun with it, kids tend to fall out of love with it. So, just making sure that we understand that kids are still kids sometimes, you know? But that's a really big thing to learn, you know?
Oh, thank you for not choking on that one.
So, all right. Next question, okay? What got you into jiu-jitsu? What made you train jiu-jitsu? Because I don't think you've done anything like this before,
No.
other than the contact of water polo, right?
Yeah, so I thought I played a contact sport. I thought I did. Like water polo is contact. This is different, way different contact.
Yeah.
So think of it as this move. Do it. So from here's good talk. So just puts pressure on you. Hold the arm. So what happened was, when I was like 21, 22, I went to a Gracie gym. It was Hoist down in Chino Hills.
What?
And I went to go for it, and I got there, and the professor only spoke Portuguese.
Oh, man.
Right? I couldn't even spell gi when I first started jiu-jitsu. So I was like, what do you mean by gi? So I walked away from it. Uh-oh. I walked away from that experience like, well, I guess I'm not doing that anymore. So years later, speed it up, I'm working with this dude, badass wrestler. At that time I was lifting a lot, like way too much. And I was in really good shape, and I was thinking, dude, there's one guy I can't kick his ass. Like, I can't kick this guy's ass. Like, maybe in the water, but I can't get him. So I was like, dude, I gotta learn martial art so I can understand this world. Because when you'd walk in a room, Jake, everybody knew. A, you're like the coolest dude, humble, but you kicked their ass. Like, seriously, everyone knew it, right? It wasn't even a question. It was like how you carried yourself. And I wanted that. I wanted it bad. And at that time we were best, like, you were my best friend by far. You still are, but at the time you really were a huge influence to me. So in my mind, I thought it'd be really cool to try to do a sport. I knew wrestling had passed me up, and I was thinking about karate, and I was like, I'm not a militant dude. Don't put me in a line. Don't tell me what to do. Let's float out and have a good time, you know? And just the vibe was jiu-jitsu, so I ended up reaching out to Coach Bernard, 7th Gen, actually a bunch of coaches. This was during COVID. And everyone shut down. Everybody shut down. And so, funny part is, if any of those coaches got back to me, I wonder where we're going to end up.
Yeah.
How many badass students reps we would have. Because a lot of people came over during that time. They were my buddies. So, that's why I started.
Yeah.
So my question to you now, knowing all of that, why'd you start?
Sorry, because honestly, I felt bad.
Talk like that, right in your nose.
I feel good.
There you go.
This is nice. It's like a nice stretch.
Stretch it.
Yeah, dude.
Well, coach, if I go this way, it puts the pressure off. But if I go this way,
It still feels kind of nice.
it's still pretty good.
Not JJ type nice, you know? Like, JJ could probably pick up a phone with his toes.
Like, I'm already feeding you.
So, well, I started with jiu-jitsu. So actually I tried it out before I came here. Very similar story, not with the gi though. So I went to PMA, and shout out to those guys at PMA. They work really hard, right? And they were really kind to me the first time that I tried it out. So, but anyways, so I went to, sorry, I'll start over. So I went to PMA. That was my first experience with the Martinos. If you guys don't know the Martinos, they're great people. Nick is training here. I think he's an All-American for the Fresno State Wrestling Club. And let me get out of this real quick. What are you doing? Why'd you give it up?
Let's do a wrist line.
So anyways, went to PMA. You know, the Martinos were kind enough to let me use a gi. So, and honestly, I hated it. I had a bad time with it. I didn't understand the grips, right? A lot of things that go into the gi. Different balance mechanisms too. And like I said, just being able to really grab onto essentially your clothes, right, for control, just really irked me, right? Because with wrestling, you know, you don't get any grips other than the body parts that you control. So anyways, it was just me, and it was my ego. I wasn't ready to learn, you know, and that was really it. I really was not ready to learn, ready to be a student, right? So, and that being said, like, I had a bad time. You know, I was over here trying to wrestle jiu-jitsu guys, and I was pretty successful at it, but I just knew, like, at a high level, I would really have to slow down and think about what I was doing and learn, you know? And I think, like, you know, first year in college, I think I was learning how to do jiu-jitsu. Might not have been the best option for me right away. So anyways, gave it a couple years. You know, you told me you were interested in it, and at first I shot it down. But then you told me there's this really nice school that you went to, great people. I'm like, you know what, dude? I'm willing to give it a try. So, Lord and behold, it was here, you know, with the 7th Gen guys. So we rocked it out, went over here, gave it a shot, and never turned back. So, like I said, man, for me, I feel like I said, as that 19, 20-year-old guy, like I really wasn't ready to learn. You know, I was probably stressed out about college or just normal things that 19-year-old kids have to stress out about, living on their own, all that stuff. But when I met you, whenever it was that time of COVID where we're all kind of looking to fill that hole, and dude, that was definitely something I didn't know I needed, and I needed it. So that was really cool. So, but anyways, yeah, so I went to 7th Gen, started training, you know. You knew that I was going to end up competing, so I ended up competing, really enjoying it. And like I said, everybody here is just so kind and helpful. It's really a family environment, and it's crazy to see how much the gym has grown, how much you've grown, you know. It's a beautiful thing. So that's why I started jiu-jitsu though.
So top that one, mentally, what have you learned? What have you earned or developed during jiu-jitsu?
Patience. Right now, right, as a white belt, I would be kicking and screaming, and I'd be upset. Not that I would be, you know, yelling or tapping or anything like that, but like this position right now, like I would get frustrated here. You know, where before it's like, you know, we're kind of at this position right now where it's like, hey, somebody's got to make an advancement, and it doesn't always have to be me.
Yeah.
You know, like I said, for me, I'm always go, 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 go. But jiu-jitsu is not always go, 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 go. It's patience sometimes. You know, it's seeing what holes open up. It's seeing what things happen. right? Seeing what grips you do, seeing your game, right? And all that at the same time, being aware of myself, making sure that I'm not in the most danger, and I'm protecting myself at all times. But jiu-jitsu has taught me patience. It's taught me how to be dynamic in the way that I think, and just understanding that this game is a lot like chess and not like checkers. So whenever I was trying to play it like checkers. There we go. So, all right, back to you, Big Papa. Outside of jiu-jitsu, what else do you like to do for fun?
Watch my kids grow up.
Yeah?
I have become being a dad is the best, one of the best things ever happened to me. Being a husband was cool, but becoming a dad was a different world.
Yeah.
And watching my kids find success in things, like my son doing wrestling this year,
I love that.
it was so cool. Like, I got a job where I actually literally am able to do this. Oh yeah, this one. I don't have it though. Like having a, yeah, that's what I do for fun.
So watching your kids grow up.
Yeah.
So how old are your kids?
So Levi's 10, Ellie's 6. Levi wrestles, Ellie does jiu-jitsu, and Levi does jiu-jitsu. Levi's a brown belt in karate. You did karate at one point. I think that was cool that my son, I think it's the funniest thing he says, and you know it. Like, what do you want to do when you grow up? He goes, I want to be able to beat up Jake. Literally what he says. I want to beat up Jake. And he tells Jake that. And so he's emulated a lot of what you've done. Like, I don't know if you understand the influence you have on my kid, and not only me, but how much my kid looks up to you. My whole family looks up to you. And I'm talking to a dude that's, 12 years, 13 years younger than me. Nah, take that sweat.
I love it. Just a quick little water break,
Back to this.
Yeah.
So I want to get to this one.
So you said that your family trains. So you got the son training, the daughter training, and the wife training.
Yeah, that's a whole different.
Tell me how that happened, buddy. Because before, your wife used to look at us like we were crazy when we talked about jiu-jitsu for like 8 hours.
Yeah, so if you're trying to get your wife to join jiu-jitsu, hey, don't. I swear. No, I'm just kidding. No, it's awesome. It's awesome how we do jiu-jitsu. But we're driving home from the river. We got like an 8-hour trip ahead of us.
Yeah.
And Coach Bernard put out a Benefits of Jiu-Jitsu on a podcast. And I'd already listened to it. So I set this thing up. I was like, we should listen to this podcast. I haven't listened to it yet.
I'll have you now.
And so we listened to it, and she, after listening to it, bought a gi on the way home. Like, researched it, got some dark water brand, and she's like, the water's deep in jiu-jitsu. Like, you don't know shit about jiu-jitsu. You know how deep shit is. Like, but she's, look at that. Ah! She joined because of that.
That's awesome. So she joined off the podcast.
Yeah. And then she ended up coming in, and I think...
Did that, Coach B? Your podcast is getting to people, man.
Yeah. I think the cool thing is my wife did not have Jake. I don't know how to explain that. My wife does not have Jake in her life. So I shouldn't have Jake. I mean, she had friends. I'm not trying to talk trash if anyone's listening, but she had friends, but not a guy like this who's like making her better. So when she came to jiu-jitsu, she found that family. And so being here is more than just jiu-jitsu to her. Like, I love the family I've created here. And I love these guys. But she needs this more than a lot that she knows. And so she's made a bunch of friends. I think like Sarah, like Boogie.
Yeah.
Can't want to miss any of the girls. Paige, all those people. Actually, all of them joined after her. Like,
Yeah.
I think she's the only group of women that they all talk in the group chat and they support each other. And I think that's huge that she has that. So if your wife is nagging you every day, giving you crap, get her in jiu-jitsu. Like, not only can you physically shut her up by choking her, which I have done, but you also get the ability to like get her friends. So she's not nagging you about like her life all the time. Although I love hearing about her life, but she can go to her friends a lot of the time, so I don't have to. I can go hang out with Jake and we can do our stuff.
So it's healthy to have positive relationships, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Like you?
So, but, okay, next question for you, right? So you've had quite a few, I would say in your eyes, you think that you've changed as much with your character and your development and where you're at mentally, right? What are some of the things that jiu-jitsu's done for you mentally, right? To kind of pave, I guess, the way of where you are now, right? Because before, like you said, you're kind of just looking for a niche, looking for something to do. The weights kind of get old, the training kind of gets old. What other things have jiu-jitsu provided you that you didn't have before?
So, jiu-jitsu was weight training, 6 days a week, sometimes twice a day. I mean, that's what we were doing.
Yeah.
Like, it was nuts, bro. I don't know what we're thinking. But we're having a good time with that, and then COVID takes it away.
Right.
And then when I went back to lifting, it wasn't the same thing. It wasn't the mental health that it was for me before.
Right.
And I'm like, dude, I need mental health help. I need like something to do other than sit in the backyard and drink or just be stupid. So, but you better tried to backflip on that one the other day. Landed on my face.
I was trying to not do that.
That hurt real bad. No, so with jiu-jitsu, way different. So in the weight room, you're looking at the mirror, dude, all the time. You're comparing yourself to the mirror. And in jiu-jitsu, you kind of do a lot of comparison, but it's all about how I look. Do I look good? Am I hot? All those things go through your head. Am I still a stud at 33? Am I awesome?
Yeah, right.
Yeah, and that's all things that go through your head, right?
Yeah.
And then I realized it was empty. And then weight training became boring. I stopped doing it. So I found jiu-jitsu, and jiu-jitsu changed it. Now I'm looking in the mirror thinking, how did I let that guy tap me? Or what move should I have done there? When I go to the weight train now, I still weight train 4 or 5 days a week right now. And all I'm thinking about is me trying to get that lapel in your neck. No, all I'm thinking about, come here. I am stuck. All I can think about is not wanting to get trucked right now. We're swapped around. What kind of half guard is this, Jake? No knee bars. No. So jiu-jitsu brought me the mentality of humility and becoming humble, because when you get tapped 17 times a roll by dudes that are 150 pounds,
It's frustrating.
you realize you ain't shit.
Yeah.
You ain't shit.
Yeah.
And so you can be as strong as you want, guys. I'm dude, bench pressing 315, a 150-pound dude's gonna just submit me.
It's crazy, isn't it?
So switched it up. Now I weight train to get better jiu-jitsu.
Ooh, different objective now.
Yeah, a healthy objective.
Yeah.
I don't care about how I look. It's helped my marriage and the side of like before you might struggle with looking at a woman and that stuff. You just call it window shopping for you married guys. It's not okay to do. I don't recommend it. It wrecks your life. But when you're like, I look good, are they checking me out? Now I just think about ocular pat down. Could I fuck everybody up in the room? It's a little different, right?
I guess so.
So I don't think about, I'm not checking out other women, I'm checking out other dudes, like how I could get them.
Right.
Well, I don't want it. Just kidding. Look at that. So that's how weight training has helped that.
That's awesome, man. And jiu-jitsu's helped that too.
Yeah, I'm just healthier.
Good, dude.
Healthier, my cardio, go to the doctor, always have a great blood pressure.
Talk to him about how much weight you've lost.
Okay.
How much weight have you lost since you started training jiu-jitsu? We'll start with that.
So
That's my
280 to 230, that's been the range.
50 pounds, man.
And the funny part is, lately I've been gaining weight and losing pant sizes. So,
Healthy body composition.
not doing steroids, guys. Doctor wouldn't give me test. Not going to ADCC trials anytime soon. No,
You're safe, Corey.
you killed me. Go this way. Don't choke. Ooh, hey. Ooh, yeah, give me that. Ooh. He's gonna choke me right here, see? No, I couldn't go reverse. So, back at you. How much weight have you gained? Muscles, look at these.
Not much, man.
I need to touch those, not you.
Not. So right now, I feel like during the summertime, well, one, I just have a hard time eating enough as it is anyways. But I'm actually type 1 diabetic for some of the people who might be watching. So, anyways, so I'm type 1 diabetic. So for me, you know, it's never been a question of whether or not I want to do something. I'm gonna do it, just because I'm stubborn, man. And stubborn's not always a good idea, right? But you know, I do my best to take care of myself, take care of my body, eat enough food, test my blood sugar, take the insulin, do all the things I'm supposed to be doing, so that way I can do stuff like this and do fun things with my friends, right? So, but for me, jiu-jitsu just provided me that platform to continue to just work at something, right? Objectively, right? And to keep working hard towards getting better, right? Whether that means getting better as in my jiu-jitsu is improving or just how I would handle myself in a situation like right now where I'm on my back, right? Before, I'd feel myself kind of start freaking out a little bit. But right now, right, like I said, jiu-jitsu's taught me patience. So, and as far as the muscle and stuff that I put on, I think that's part of just growing up. When Lee first met me and when we just met, we were working out like crazy. I think I was 21 years old. So, and now I'm 25. I have a kid. I'm married. So things like that really start to change how your body works and what you do, right?
You almost just like me.
So,
That was nice.
but so as far as the muscle, I feel like my body's just changing, but I welcome it, right? Because like I said, there's gonna come a day where we're not gonna be able to move as well as we do right now. And I'm just enjoying every moment of this journey, every moment of the ride, and just doing what we're supposed to be doing. So, muscle-wise, I haven't put on that much. I've actually probably lost weight.
Oh, you're still not moving, right?
But
No.
that's okay. So like I said, I've competed in jiu-jitsu. I love the weight class I compete at. I love how I feel when I'm rolling and doing stuff, and I feel like I move well. My flexibility's increased as well. That's one of the 3 pillars that Lee was talking about. Strength hasn't changed. So we're rocking, baby. We're rocking and rolling, and we'll just keep working, man. So, I mean, not many people are in this school working hard at 115 degrees outside, and here we are on a Sunday. So, killing it.
Or hitting the gym in the morning.
That's it, dude.
And if people don't know, like, we hit the gym this morning. I'm okay.
So, fun fact, man. And this is, by the way, this is not to boost my ego or anything like that. So a diabetic doctor is called an endocrinologist, right? So my endocrinologist, she cannot put her thumb on me as far as like, she doesn't understand like what I do and why I do it, right? Because she says that we train at like an Olympic level as far as, you know, like lifting in the morning, cardio in the evening, you know, moving all day, all that stuff.
Yeah.
And we're constantly burning calories, we're constantly doing that stuff, and she just asked me like, what do you do? Right? And I broke it down to her about the things that we do and how we do it. And she's just like, you're nuts, man. Like, you know, you guys maybe go a little too hard. And I'm like, dude, nah, man, we're right where we're supposed to be, you know? And like I said, I just feel comfortable with the people that I'm rolling with, the village that we've surrounded ourselves with and our families. Like, I know that I'm well taken care of even when I'm not. So, and that's a good confidence boost for me, especially with my health. So, I'm really appreciative of 7 Gen, JJ operating the camera, Lee who's trying to give me an Americana or Femora.
This is bad.
So,
It's a really bad spot. I have no you know, on your arm.
we're
So I have
just
to like try
having
to
a good
lapel.
All right.
so
We're almost about ready to wrap it up, guys.
Really?
Sure.
We're
You did- you
putting
were
some
right. It goes
time
fast.
in.
Yeah,
Hell
we're
yeah.
fast.
I got one question for both you
Hell
guys.
yeah, man. What's up?
So, I want to know the love story between you guys. How'd you guys meet, and why does Lee talk about you in his sleep?
It's true.
So,
Yeah.
we met working, right? So we both worked at the same school site. Lee actually was on my interview panel, which is pretty funny.
pretty
But
disgruntled at the
anyways,
time.
so we were on we worked at the same school site. You know, actually, fun fact, when Lee and I first started working with each other, I don't think that he was a big fan. You know, I didn't know him at the time.
I was jealous.
Right? I didn't know what was really going on. And just, you know, just a kid trying to figure out what's up from down and how to do my new job and all that stuff. And Lee actually played a big role in training me, you know. And a lot of people at first told me like, hey, dude, just, you know, keep an eye on him. You know, just make sure that some of the things that he does may not be to the T, you know. So anyways, but I looked at him and I thought, man, this guy's a veteran. He's been here for a long time and he's got a great background in coaching, and I could learn a lot from this guy. And in turn, he taught me a lot. So, and that's how we first met, was at work. You know, and it turned into this snowball effect. And at first we kind of like, hey, you coach, I coach. Hey, I have some questions for you if you don't mind me asking you. What works best for you? How do I do this? And then it turned into, hey, dude, what time are you lifting after school? Can I join? Like, hop in, you know? And like, you know, then we start talking about lifting. We have a lot of things in common. He's a Star Wars nerd. I'm a Star Wars nerd, right? And like, he's got a young family. I have, it was my girlfriend at the time, but I was in talks and me proposing to her and all that stuff. So it was just a really fun time in my life. And I think it was a fun time in his life as well, right? And like I said, at first, you know, we just got to know each other and started to kind of hang out a little bit. After that, it was, I mean, it was like two peas in a pod, man. It was pretty ridiculous. So now it's funny because all throughout the district, so I work in a different area now, right?
Yeah.
I work in a different area than he does. And all throughout the district, everybody knows about our friendship and like the dumb stuff that we do as far as joking around and doing jiu-jitsu and just having a good time. So we tend to be pretty loud and rambunctious when we're out and about. But like I said, all in the betterment of kids, all professional and all for the love of people. And like I said, we just have so many positive people in our life that we've met as well, including the school, and we're just very thankful for it. But anyways, that's how I met Lee. So.
Cool. All right, guys. If you guys want to try to submit each other, I mean, that'd be pretty cool.
Right.
Maybe a 30-second countdown.
Can I start here?
Yeah.
And go.
Give it to me. You will give it. No, wrist locks. That's my strong way.
I hear some pops.
Fingers.
So bad.
Good stuff.
I was like,
You okay?
yeah, you're good. I was
Sweet.
Roll Talks, baby. Thank you, JJ, for giving us the opportunity, man. We're really
Dude,
thankful.
no problem,
Yeah,
guys.
baby.
Cool.